Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we are diving into a game-changing method that could revolutionize your English learning journey. If you've been studying English for years and still struggle to speak fluently, this video is for you. Many people think they lack the talents for language learning, but the real issue might not be the problems of whether you have language talent, but because you might be a lack of understanding of a crucial theory, comprehensible input. If you can manage this game-changer tool, your language learning timeline could shrink from years to months or even to weeks. For those who don't know me, I'm Emma from China. I've never lived, studied, or worked in English-speaking countries. If you want to learn English efficiently like me, stay tuned. I found a very interesting video, and this video ranks the world's different languages from easiest to hardest based on the time required to learn those languages. And based on the Foreign Service Institute's languages are divided into 5 categories. Level 1 includes languages closely related to English, such as Spanish, Italian, French, Dutch, and Swedish. These languages typically require 575 to 600 hours of study. That's just 1.6 hours per day if you want to acquire the languages within 1 year, which seems quite achievable, right? Level 2 and Level 3 languages like German, Indonesia, Malaysia require 750 to 900 hours of study. And Level 4 languages such as Hindi, Thai, Russian, Hebrew, and Vietnamese need about 1100 hours due to the significant cultural differences from English. This means more than 3 hours of intensive study per day if you want to acquire the languages within 1 year. Alright, next let's move on to the most difficult language level, Level 5. East Asian languages are generally the hardest, such as Korean, Japanese, and also Arabic. And the other include Mandarin and Cantonese. These languages require an average of 2,200 hours of study, which is double the time needed for Level 4 languages. So, if you want to master these languages within 1 year, it means you need to spend more than 6 hours a day of intensive study. And this is indeed quite challenging, isn't it? Seeing this, if Mandarin or Japanese is already your native language, you might feel a little bit relief because thinking that if you can handle the hardest languages already, then no other language can be too difficult for you, right? But I hope no one gets discouraged by the difficulties. After all, the process of learning language is a journey of opening up a new world for yourself. In the previous section, we mentioned that the ranking is based on the learning difficulties for a native English speaker. Therefore, it might not apply to speakers of other languages. For example, my native language is Mandarin. However, my first job located in Macau, a Cantonese-spoken city, and most of my colleagues and clients speak Cantonese, which is considered the hardest languages in the world. Back then, I spent 2 hours a day on Comprehensible Input. It took me 3 months to fully understand Cantonese and another 3 months to speak Cantonese fluently with local colleagues and clients. So I used a total of less than 400 hours to fully acquire Cantonese, which is way less than the native English speaker who required at least 2,500 hours of time to fully acquire Cantonese. Actually, at the time, I didn't know what comprehensible input was. Initially, I tried buying some Cantonese teaching books and videos, but I found them very boring. I didn't stick with that for long, and then I switched to watching TV drama in Cantonese. My progress in Cantonese was rapid from then on. This method of learning Cantonese actually inspired my approach to learning English. Like most Chinese students, I started learning English very early. Despite studying English for years, I still couldn't communicate well in English. It wasn't until I learned about the comprehensible input theory that I realized, okay, my previous methods of learning English were inefficient, leading to less effective results. Reality, many English learners often hit a wall in their English learning journey. Despite years of study, they found themselves stuck at the same level and unable to progress. The reason, they are not getting enough comprehensible input. Most of us have been through traditional language learning methods, memorizing grammar rules, drilling exercise, and taking examinations. While these methods have their place, they often don't produce fluent speakers. In many East Asian countries, students spend over 10 years studying English, yet many still struggle with basic conversation. This is because traditional methods focus on learning about the languages rather than acquiring it. Let's talk about the comprehensible input. This theory was proposed by Stephen Krashen.
To begin my presentation this afternoon by talking about what I think is the most important issue in language education, the most important question, and that is, how do we acquire language? And I'd like to begin this discussion, this presentation, with an outrageous statement. In my opinion, we all acquire language the same way.
Just like babies learn their first languages naturally by hearing and understanding, or just like the ChatGPT learns languages rules by studying large amounts of sentences and then process natural languages based on those rules. So, we too can acquire a second language through exposure to comprehensible input. Our brains are pattern recognition machines. When we expose ourselves to large amounts of natural languages, our brains start to recognize patterns and commonalities, gradually building up our understanding and fluency. This is why massive input is crucial. In fact, linguists and polyglots have conducted many experiments proving the superiority of massive input. Many studies and experiments have shown that students who use methods focusing on comprehensible input outperform those who only rely on traditional methods. Through our discussion above, I believe you now understand the importance of comprehensible input in language learning. So, here are some tips for you to acquire English through comprehensible input. First, use diverse resources. Engage with various forms of media, which can provide a rich source of comprehensible input. And second, focus on enjoyable content. Choose content that interests you and never make you bored. 3. Avoid over-reliance on grammar. While grammar has its place, don't let it dominate your learning process. Use grammar as a tool for refining your understanding after you've already achieved the basic fluency. 4. Create a language-rich environment. Surround yourself with the target languages, like change your phone or computer setting to English. And thank you for joining me, the game changer theory of learning a language. Remember, enjoy the process and immerse yourself in the language you love. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe my channel. See you next time. Bye!